are rocking, we are rolling. It's the Jeff Adams Show number 8. We are finally getting our whole stuff together in this episode of number 8. We talk about where the show is going, and the Merry Monk of Love joins me once again for the Jeff Adams Show number 8. We're on track, man. Number 8 it's almost summer. We already did 8 shows, but you know what? We're going to be on track. Stay tuned for this episode of the Jeff Adams Show. Pumped. TheJeffAdamsShow.tv, bringing the ruckus, bringing the craziness, have lots of revelations of the futures of the shows. My mind's been going crazy, absolutely crazy. But further ado, want to introduce the Merry Monk of Love. What's up, my man?
Greetings.
That was a nice little fade there, wasn't it?
Smooth, nice transitions.
I tell you, I got to get an intern in here to help me out. I spent probably 2 hours yesterday just saying, all right, I'm gonna have this all prepped, ready to go, no technical bull crap, and yet 8:30 this morning, I spent an hour and a half trying to figure stuff out again. So there you go. So how's the diet doing, Merry Monk?
I'm doing pretty good. I think I've lost some weight. I'm staying away from the scale, but I stray from the path occasionally. Not always on the straight and narrow, but I get back on and I keep trucking. And I probably lost about 5 pounds, something like that. The clothes are fitting a little looser. So
wait a minute. You're saying you're staying off the scale and you lost 5 pounds.
I can tell by things are looser. I've lost a little bit.
Your boobies are smaller? Well, I mean, what does that mean?
Yeah, like there's less girth here. The buttons aren't pulling on the shirt, it's like all nice and baggy here. I have less in the stomach, around the chest, maybe less back fat. I don't know, but it's just not filling out the way it was before the Metafast.
Have you been jonesing at all for, different types of food?
Yeah, like I said, I blew it. We had a big meeting, and there was free pizza, and so I'm like, man, I'm going to eat the pizza, And but then I was really good. I was on the straight and narrow yesterday. Then I went out to see the Black Crows, and then you're like, man, fudge it here, fudge it there. You end up with a Cuban and fries in your face at the end of the night. And, then you're back on the path again this morning. I got my diet drink. I've got my little sacks of food. Like, this is basically a meal right there.
That's like astronaut food.
Yeah, it's worse, I think. But, oh, man. Yeah, I'm not a big advocate or a good advertisement for this. Maybe losing the weight will be a good advertisement. But I'll tell you right now, this food sucks.
But what the freak is in that pack? I mean, that's just so unattractive. Makes you just, looks
that's chicken noodle. Now these little bars, they do good bars. And what else do I got? I got some cereal. That's a breakfast right there. So it's about 100 calories a meal. You're supposed to eat 5 of them every 2 to 3 hours, and then you have a lean and green meal at the end of the day. So, I mean, I think if you stay on it, you're under 1,500 calories a day, which is a pretty rapid, you're on the path for rapid weight loss there.
Well, what's the cost with that stuff, though? I mean, is it crazy expensive to be doing all this? Have that special food?
To get started and get a whole month of food, it was $275.
Wow.
But
I got to do something. I don't know what I need to do, but I got to do something. I mean, I got on the scale last night and go, whoa, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure something out. I was doing a calorie thing, and then I don't know. Then I get cocky and go, eat this, eat that, and you really don't care. And then
as long as you fall down, you get back up. A lot of the times it's fall down and then roll around and like scoot your butt on the ground and
yeah,
you just stay down there.
I think I fell down and broke my legs.
You broke your crown.
Yeah. So I was sitting here. I got back from Nashville on Tuesday. I took a quick trip up there. Had a quick meeting with one of the groups I work with, and
what, they go into labor or something?
No, not yet. But I just had an idea. I mean, this show, we've been chasing our butts trying to figure out what exactly this show is going to be about.
Correction, you are chasing your butt.
Yeah.
I'm just the sidekick. This shouldn't reflect on my professionalism.
Is there a cricket button right now? For crying out loud.
I'm just saying, for anybody that actually watches this, please.
Well, I mean,
I'm a Telly award-winning producer. This is not my doing. He just said, "Will you come along?" I think it adds a little bit of credibility. I think I'm an anchor on this thing, but
yeah, if
that's all I'm saying.
If I didn't have you here, I'd be basically chasing my tail,
yeah,
long term here. But I was sitting here.
But you do have me. Okay, so we're trying to figure out what the show is about. I'm suggesting that we just do a show where every show we try to figure out what the show's about, and in the meantime, we have a show. So what was it last time? We were going to have a midlife crisis, and then I'm just going to, hang out and listen to you implode and give some input, maybe some thoughtful advice. I think that was the last concept. And so what's the new concept?
Well, the new concept.
Jam the Hype, your source for positive hip-hop and R&B. Now on your smartphone or tablet, playing new music from
Boy, I lost it, I'm foolish, running off at the tulips. Probably wooing all the cruelest, persecutors, the foes. Catch me.
Thizzle.
Fresh up off that plane, touchdown in my city. Flew around the world with this bird on my feet.
Jacob.
And the world is such a beautiful place, such a beautiful. I know that we can make it.
Flame.
No, I don't do this so the industry can't know my name. Boy, I do this on purpose.
The Rose. On our smartphone app, you'll get 24/7 streaming radio, interviews, videos, interact with other music fans, and get live TV broadcasts covering positive hip-hop and R&B events. Now, on the Apple iOS Store and Google Play, Jam the Hype, changing lives with positive hip-hop and R&B. Now, on your smartphone or tablet. Jam the Hype, your positive hip-hop and R&B channel.
Well, the new concept, hang on a minute. Someone's in the chat room said there's no picture, so hang on.
Oh.
Let me fix this.
Again, see who's trying to fix it? It's Jeff Adams.
It's Jeff Adams to the rescue. And let me try to fix this once again. I mean, dude, it's always something with this.
Now, let me take a shot at displaying my professionalism and say that the phone is working this time. 1-888-547-8383. 1-888-547-8383.
Yeah, we probably lost a lot of viewers. Hopefully that fixed the problem because I see it in this thing. There's just so many buttons to be twisting here. But anyways, I lost my train of thought because I had to go in engineer mode. What was I saying?
Yeah, and screwing that up because you you push the buttons, man. Stop trying to twist them. They're not nipples.
So what was that? Help me out here. What was I saying? I got an engineer mode. I can't be creative and engineer at the same time. It's very difficult for me.
I know. So you were going to talk about what the new concept for the Jeff Adams Show is.
So yeah. Basically, I basically came up with this idea. I go on these rants about the music industry, and the funniest thing is, I think, and you know this too, it just seems like we live in a culture where everybody wants something for free. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I got tickets to see the Black Crowes for free. That was cool.
And would you go? Would you have gone to that concert if you didn't have free tickets?
Probably not.
And why is that? You don't like the Black Crowes that much?
I haven't listened to them in a long time. They're awesome. I mean, as good as ever. They were great. I had no idea that they were still kicking it so well. But no, I mean, it just wouldn't have been something. You know, the last concert I paid for, I'm like, hey, I'll dish out the big bucks, was Muse. I wanted to see that.
Yeah.
You know, before that, I saw Roger Waters' The Wall. I mean, that's kind of more that's my scale. You know, if I'm going to pay for a show, I want to raw, you know, something that really touches me and is a big production.
Bro, who'd you go with? You went with Nino?
Yeah, Nino. He had an extra ticket, and he's like, hey, man, want to go? Thanks. Actually, I blog about it at themerrymonk.com if you want to check it out. I'm blogging again.
Thanks, Nino, for inviting me. Appreciate it. So, anyways, you know, the rants and raves, I think the midlife crisis is going to stay regardless.
Yeah, that's right. You're not going to shake that.
It's just one thing after another. I mean, you hit these walls in your life over and over and over and over again. I mean, I can't even, once you get ahead in one area, you get behind in the other area. And it's
like whack-a-mole at Chuck E. Cheese. That's how I found my life. Like one thing comes up, you bound that down. Good, got that. Oh, there's another one.
It's, you know, you're just trying to figure yourself out. But in the meantime, I figured out how I can help somebody. And that's what it's all about, people. It's all about, in the end, helping somebody. And
okay.
So let me tell you a quick story, and I'll give you a rundown where we're going to shift and try this show. And if it doesn't work, you know, I'll end up chasing my tail again and come up with some crazy idea and say, Eric, just stay with me, buddy.
I'm here.
And we'll stay focused, and we'll get this figured out. But listen.
Did you finish the thought on the free stuff?
No, I didn't. I'm all over the place. Coffee. Crazy.
Okay, go ahead.
Free stuff, man. I mean, basically free stuff. Everybody wants stuff for free. I mean, you know, especially in my line of work, you know, people call me, Facebook me and go, hey, man, can I ask you a couple questions about, you know, this, that, and the other? And it frustrates me to no end because I'm a type of guy that, you know, lives off commission. And, you know, I went on a rant yesterday on social media, you know, just kind of, you know, venting a little bit. I'm just getting sick of all the freebies. And people, you know, I expect people, you know, they want this. Hey, can I ask you a question? Can I do this? They pick your brain. And then, you know, 3 weeks later and you're still in the same conversation. You're helping people out. And, kind
of like the guys that are helping you put this podcast together.
Exactly.
You moocher. You freaking, you, what do they call that? What do they call that when you're one of them? You're one of them guys who, hypocrite. You're a hypocrite.
No, I mean, yay. Not really. I mean, because you really get paid to do radio. So, I mean, what's the next, you know, you're done with your book now. So for crying out loud, what else are you going to do?
Oh, dude, I'm here for free. Those guys helping you put the podcast are here for free. This is all out of the kindness of your heart. And now you're going to come on this podcast and you're going to gripe about people wanting free stuff from you because of your position in the music industry? I mean, right from the get-go, this is flawed.
You always now everything is ruined now. You always bring this.
No, okay, go ahead. Let's hear where the train of thought goes. You know, about I'm sick of all these people with
no. I mean,
mooching.
Here's the thing. Look, now,
I thought I saw the phone ring for a second there.
Did it ring?
1-888-547-8383. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
How could it possibly ring when we haven't even given the phone number out?
I gave it out earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay. I was probably playing engineer or something at the time.
Yeah, you were twisting something.
Twisting knobs, doing all that stuff. So, anyways, yay! So I went on a rampage, and this guy challenged me and goes, "Well, you know, it's people like you that make the industry, you know, this, that, and the other." And I'm like, man, seriously? It's like I'm not one of those guys. But you know, when I have bands that stiff me. You know, when I work off commission, and it's frustrating. And then
now that's a different thing.
Yeah, and
because you're supposed to get paid. Don't you have contracts with these people?
Yeah, and you know, and I condensed down. I'm working with one band now, and you know, I think, and then I'm doing a consulting job with Jam the Hype, and Derek Holmes actually in the chat room right now. What up, man? And so it's just to a point where. You get frustrated. People come, hey, man, can we do this? Can you talk to me about this? And it's like, it's frustrating. And where I'm going with this is basically this. Last Friday night, we went to this party. It was something Women's Business of America. It was one of Stacy's friends, and it was like to raise money. It was at this new home.
Ugh.
Yeah, and and it's just one of those stupid. It's not. I shouldn't say stupid. It's just.
Did you get drunk in the spare room again?
No, I didn't. It was awkward, and you toured the home, and there was like food and everything, and
all right, you're better than me. I get it. Thanks.
And so basically, we walked. There was this huge bathroom, and I was just walking, and there was a lot of like people in their 60s at this thing, and I don't know why. And this lady goes, "Hey, what do you do?" And I was like, I work in the music industry. And she's like, "Well, you don't seem very happy about it, do you?" And I'm like, and it was just, it was one of those Larry David moments, and I didn't know what to do, and I could tell she goes, "You need to meet my husband. You need to meet him." And I'm like,
yeah.
And I just felt like Larry David. I don't, like Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I just had one of those moments to go, look at that shower. That's a big shower, just trying to avoid it. Then she grabs me.
Look at those faucets. The water comes out flat. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then she grabs me by the arm.
And she drags you over to the husband?
No, I mean, she grabs me by the arm.
What does he do, sell Amway or something?
She goes, "No, my husband, that's what he does. He fixes people to find what they're really supposed to do in their life."
Oh, he's like a life coach. Everybody's doing that now. I need to do that.
Yeah, so
I could do that for you, but it's going to cost you.
Blah, 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 blah. So, anyways, the guy finally gets up with me. I told my wife, I said, "Hey, stay close to me. I'm going to get solicited." And
this is how I got into this exact story that you're talking about. This is how I ended up with this. Because there's a lady attached to these little bags of food.
Is it your counselor too?
No, my counselor's.
She's doing a double deal.
No, my counselor's somebody else. She's actually incredibly gracious. I mean, she's awesome. Sharon Hirsch. But no, this she's a whole life coach. Like it's a whole thing. I'm getting little encouraging texts and stuff. And she's very chipper too. And it's just like, oh man, it's like matter, antimatter. You put the two of us together. Yeah. But I feel it, man. So this guy's gonna fix you. Did you interface?
Well, here's the thing. I basically, this guy came up to me, and my wife, she just didn't get it. I mean, she did get it later on. She came like later, and I was in the zone. I was shutting this guy down like nobody's business. And
what did she start going like? You know what? He's got a point. Jeff, you could lose a few pounds. You should call this guy. What's your number? I'm going to make sure.
Well, I think me and my wife need to, probably communicate better because I think we really, that's why we have a lot of problems sometimes because we just don't know how to communicate properly. And it's probably a lot of my fault because she's a communicator and I'm not. I just go, oh, So I guess I think she reads my mind or something, and that gets me in a lot of trouble. So I'm standing there and I told her, I said, "Hey, look, there's this lady that's listening to me in the bathroom, and she is trying to she's trying to get me." And I said, "She wants me to meet her husband. I know where this is going." I said, "Just watch out. They're like to my left." And she goes, "Okay, cool." So she goes somewhere, and then all of a sudden the lady comes up, and she goes, "This is my husband," and he goes, "Hey, this is awkward." And I'm like, "You think?" And so he goes, "So tell me about yourself." And she kind of does the introduction. This guy's wife, she walks away. And he's like, "Well, that's what I do. So tell me about yourself." So he walked me through all this stuff, and I just shut the guy down. I mean, he tried to dominate the conversation, but this guy got shut down by Jeff Adams big time. So my wife comes back, and she walks by a couple times, but she thought she was trying to rescue me, but I was engaged. I was enjoying shutting this guy down. And,
it switched. Okay.
And so basically what it came down to was I wish I could play this guy's video, but this guy's here locally, so I don't want to offend anybody or make someone bad. I was going to play the guy's video. He has a whole YouTube video, and it's really humorous. And I'm saying if this guy can do it, I can do it. And, the thing about it is I shut down a life coach. So why would the heck I pay someone as a life coach when I can friggin' shut them down? What do you think about that?
So you're saying you want to be a life coach. It's like no one BS is a BSer. Like you are all over this. And so you're thinking, man, I got what it takes to do what this guy does. So you want to be a life coach. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying I want to be a life coach. What I'm saying is where this show is going. You know, we're trying to, well, me, okay, I don't want to bring Eric back into the conversation because it's always, I say us and then Eric goes, what do you mean us? It's me. Don't put this on my Facebook page. So what I'm saying is I said, what better way? I'm a creative person. Eric's a creative person. And Eric got, you know, a Telly Award, right? I got a couple of Dove Awards. And, you know, maybe we go into Eric's studio every once in a while. I'll bring, you know, a low key camera thing to this, you know, your radio studio. And maybe we get like Matthew involved. And we take calls just about creative people, because the more you say something, I mean, even with you say something on social media, you can say something positive, but there's always going to be a troll that's going to try to pee on your parade. And what I found out with that is they're unhappy. They're unhappy with their own life, and
the way that you peed on the life coaches parade.
I didn't necessarily pee on it. He's like, well, I mean, this is what he said at the end of the conversation. I don't want to say I devoured the guy, but he goes, well, looks like you don't need my help. And I say, yeah, pretty much, you know. and I posted something on social media afterwards and said, you know, I wish I had a TV crew, because I don't make some of this stuff up. I mean, I think what I did would have been classic TV if there would have been TV rolling, because this guy I destroyed him. And then,
pretty soon you get that Google Glass going, you can record everything.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But then it was just an awkward moment, and there was like this DJ out by the pool, and then the guy's like, he got to be like 60, 65, and he's, you know, and then I don't know if he was drinking, but he starts doing these like 60s hippie moves by the pool, and he's the only one dancing, and he's a life coach. And I was like, man, I know I'm weird, but if this guy can do it, I can do it better, for crying out loud. So that's what I'm saying with this show is, creative people, you're frustrated. We all are frustrated. And I think in the midst of me being frustrated, I started doing these shows. And, you know, Eric not necessarily, because that's Eric's job, to sit in front of a microphone with Steve Brown and, you know, do all this talking. So
yeah, but other things frustrate me, but yeah, this doesn't frustrate me.
What's the other stuff that frustrates you out of, you know, if you're talking about creativity? I mean, I think.
Oh, creativity? No, I got my outlets. I'm happy.
But you're a happy guy. But I mean, in the midst of that.
No, I'm an angry guy, but I'm happy with my work.
Okay, so, you know, being in our 40s, it's finding that sense of, you know, wholeness. I think I'm on the path on the creativity wise where I'm balanced now, and I'm happy because I'm pursuing doing this. I'm pursuing, you know, doing the Jam the Hype stuff I'm passionate about, streaming, the whole internet radio stuff. I'm excited about that.
All right.
I think
you got a new thing.
Yeah, I think we're in a position where and I'm excited about working with Group One Crew as well. I mean, they're fantastic to work with. And that's the only reason.
But they're pregnant and the money's going to dry up.
Yeah, you know, it'll come back. But the thing is, I'm happy where I'm at because I slowly getting all the, you know, negative stuff that drives me batty and professionalism out of the way.
Oh, you've been working very hard on this. You got, you know, behind the scenes, you have to see what Jeff is doing here. I mean, it's amazing what he's trying to pull off. And when we finally get it together, I think we're going to have a show here.
Yeah, so, I mean, in the midst of the show.
I mean, when Jeff finally gets it together.
Yeah, that's right. He said we. Oh, so
I'm sorry. I'm
slowly
sorry.
Bringing Eric in. Oh, so,
I know you're starting to suck me in already. Like I'm starting to see, dude, without vision, the people perish. And you just put out some vision there. And now I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I do trust this Sasquatch.
Dun, dun, dun. But the thing is, it's like I'm not quick enough on this ATM switcher. I'm trying to switch back and forth between me and you, and my fingers like late. So like again, you know,
try twisting it.
Here's a midlife crisis. I'm gonna complain. I can't keep up with the technology.
Okay, so what we're gonna have for us, people that are creatives that are frustrated, and we're gonna have them on the show, and then we're gonna do what? We're gonna like give them advice. Is it gonna be like primal scream therapy? I mean, just a place to vent, just joke around with them, like point fingers. Look at you, you're frustrated. Or what are you gonna do?
I think here's what I want to do. I don't want to like destroy people, but it's the same. It's the same thing. This guy ran on a rant yesterday, and if he's in here or he's listening, I'm not attacking you by any means, you know. But
He's a life coach?
No, he blew up one of my social media pages, and he was just he was just upset because he read my messages the wrong way, and it's just the thing is my motto in the music industry is like everybody wants to play, but no one wants to pay. I mean, that's the whole model of where music's going. No one wants to pay for anything anymore. Everybody, these kids growing up, they all want stuff for free. They want music for free. They want entertainment for free. I mean, it's the society of these kids. I mean, now they're in their 20s. They were kids downloading free movies, and they just want entertainment for free. They think, they're under the parents' roof. They get cable for free. So when it comes to internet stuff or anything like that, they want it for free. And where is this model going? No one really knows. But
okay, we can get into that.
Yeah, so this guy, he just was frustrated. And he said, there's people like you, yada, 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 that make the industry a poor place. And I'm like, really, dude? Really? I don't think so. And I said, hear me out. I go, I'm trying to help people out and pour them into creativity, and to find happiness to what they're doing with their creativity, whether it be music, film scripts, or, whatever. I want to be a broadcaster. Whatever, find it, do it, shut up, be positive about it.
You're so funny. You're like, I want to help people be happy. Dang it. I'm going to shut the hell up and be positive.
Exactly. Yeah, man. You just got to do that. I mean, and to a point where I think
you got to relax, man.
Well, I'm very relaxed, but I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about here.
Okay. All right. Because
where we're at personally, if I could apply my passion and enthusiasm to where I'm at personally,
right?
In my life, I think, this show is going to help me too. If it's going to help someone with creativity problems, this is going to help me and bring therapy and bring balance to. And I think it'll probably bring balance to you as well with what your stuff you're going through. I mean, you're on a diet, for crying out loud, and you're doing all these other things. I mean, you're in a lot of the same position I am right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, certainly with the whole turning 40 and, going, what the heck is it all about kind of stuff. Yeah, asking all those questions. Certainly, we can talk about all that. I was lost. I got lost there.
Crickets? But, what my point is this, is like, I think the show, we'll prep it up, but, we have a phone number. People can call.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I know. You were saying shut up and do it. You did that. You are doing that. We're here as a product of that work. You said, I want to do it. So, action, no words, just rock.
And roll.
You're doing that. And that's a great example and a great thing to do, And with the technology that we have and the affordability of this kind of thing and the ability to get media out, then if you want to do it. And if it's good, it's gonna, find an audience. So
yeah, it's all about finding your groove. And I'm very thankful. I don't know if Derek's still in the room, but I see his name there, so hopefully he's there. But I want to thank Derek too. Because Derek, Derek has vision. Derek was, Eric. I don't know if I told you about Derek before, but Derek was he was one of the key. A guy with vision. This guy was on the team that created the startup window on Microsoft. And maybe we'll have him on the show. We're thinking about doing a tech show with Jam the Hype. But this guy created the startup window. And then, out of all this, doing that, doing well with his life, he decided to start a Christian record label and, help out artists. And he, to a degree, I know to a certain degree, he's feeling the same way I do towards things because, artists ask for the moons and stars and they really don't know the P's and L's with profit and loss and how business really works. But I'm thankful for, Derek to let people, run with their vision and run with it. He's done it with Chris Chicago with Jam the Hype. And then we had a conversation last year and he knows my passion with this stuff, streaming. And we started streaming events live with Jam the Hype. And, it's people like him that can empower people to do their visions, and help them and guide them. And the guy doesn't get enough credit, man. He's probably the coolest guy in the industry, hands down. So props to you, Derek, for all you do, for Jam the Hype and making this stuff rock and roll. Because I can sit here and do this and I can figure this out, but at the same time, I'm able to do this full time because I'm twisting knobs, I'm figuring stuff out and doing all this stuff so we can do it for Jam the Hype. So I mean that's a cool thing, man. You can't.
So you want to be like that. You want to help people like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think my success in the music industry was my intention. I wanted to help as many people as I possibly can. And then, the thing is, people got to understand something is, there's highs and lows. You're going to fail. I mean, I think we did this big, huge merger with my company with all these other people involved, and it completely failed. And I have failure attached to my name when it comes to the music industry. But it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means you're not always going to be successful in what you do. And when you do fail, you just got to get over it, and push forward and continue on, and do what you love to do. You're going to hit road bumps. I mean,
yeah.
Thank God for Derek, because just, and it's, not to get all spiritual or anything, but it's a God thing, man. Seriously, man, I didn't know what I was going to do. We talked about a couple weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, I was putting out resumes. I was at a point where, man, Group 1 Crew is going, they're going dark because Blanca's having a baby till, September. What am I going to do for money? I'm going to have to get a job. And I was luckily offered a job, with a company that does stuff that I love to do, but it just didn't make sense.
Dairy Queen. I remember that.
Yeah, Dairy Queen, man. Not Dairy Queen. They don't need my help. But I
thought you liked ice cream.
I do like ice cream. I know.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I know you do too right now because you're talking about it with your Medifast meals. So,
live vicariously through you.
No, but the thing is,
so you didn't know what to do. So what happened since then? When you were putting the resumes out and stuff.
Well, it's basically stepped up where I can do more stuff with Jam the Hype now financially.
Oh, cool.
Where I don't have to go get a 9 to 5 where I can basically operate the way I need to operate, bounce around when I need to operate. Like, after I get done with this, I got to get in a car and go to a meeting for Jam the Hype for an event that we're possibly doing in October, a streaming event. So it's just a blessing. But the thing is, too, is, I want this show to be about just that. We're gonna, between our personalities, I know we're gonna like throw some people down and just, shake them to death and basically say, dude, what are you doing? There's some cuckoos out there that think that they have what it takes to do a certain thing and they just are not ready, or they're smoking the ganja or something, dude.
Like American Idol, like the first few episodes.
Yeah, so
of the season, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
where everybody's getting up and they, are you oblivious to how bad you are?
Yeah, and there's an entertainment factor. A lot of that's staged, but in my midst of my travels, and I'm sure you've met some loonies too, that there's just people out there that are on a different planet and they just think, hey, I can do this. And, and they think the record industry or the entertainment industry is full of all this cash, money grows on trees, and you skip into the do. And, I've seen it, Eric. I've seen it so many times. I'm not trying to bash artists, but I've seen so many times artists, they live in this stinking, I don't know where they're at. And they tweet and they say stuff like, newsflash. Newsflash? How are you going to be on Twitter and talk about newsflash when you have one follower? How's that newsworthy? You know what I'm saying? and they think that, hey man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I don't want to bash anybody's dreams. I don't. But I want people with creativity. I want people to be on the right path and to the right path of what they're supposed to be doing with their life.
Something realistic.
Something realistic.
Because you can come from experience and say, look, you're not thinking straight. Like this is not the world is not going to hand you these things that you think it will. Yeah, but you've got. I've been very fortunate in my life. Very fortunate in my life to be able to somehow, it's supernaturally, it's a God thing, but you want to break it down in layman's terms, pulling rabbits out of the hat. I've made a, career of that. You sit there and you hit rock bottom, and then, all of a sudden, whoop. I call that walking on water. I do that too. Yeah. But in this industry, it's the next man is trying to get you down and they're trying to put you out of a job. So you've always got to be on your A game. And in the midst of that, you get upset, you lose,
lose focus sometimes. You get all down like, man, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm here, man. And, you know, I've been doing this for 20-something years, man. You know that.
Go down 7 times, get up 8. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. You gotta do it.
But, you know, I made a career of encouraging people, man. And I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to destroy people, too. Not in a negative sense where I'm going to make them cry, but if people want to call on the show and they want free direction, we're going to give it to them. But if they're smoking the ganja and doing this crazy stuff and expecting that, you know, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and we'll break it down for you. And, you know, if you've got a great idea, we'll tell you. It's like, dude, go do this, go do that. Don't lose sight. But if you're doing something and you're living in a fantasy world, we're going to tell you about it. We're going to just say, you are a complete idiot right now.
So are you thinking mainly musicians, acts, or are you thinking any creatives? Are you maybe you're going to bring, like an author comes to you with a book and says, here's the idea and here's my experience. And, you know, then do you critique that, or do we go get somebody like my editor on the program and have him like guest slot and say, okay, today is an author show. You know, come with your stuff and Mick Silva's going to give you a dose of reality and give you some tips. Or is it just going to be like music stuff from you, you know, people that want to do film? I mean, that's not necessarily your background, but do we go get a guy like Aaron Wiederspan and maybe have him talk about his experience with it and then answer filmmakers' questions? You know? I mean, what are you thinking?
All right, I'm thinking across the board. Anything driven with creativity. I mean, I don't want to just box it with entertainment. I mean, ultimately, I think that's where our strengths are, is entertainment. But at the same time as, you know, someone might have a great idea and we can flush that through and talk about it. I don't want to limit a certain audience. So if you got an idea or you want to, you know, do something, hey, I got a business idea, let's talk about it. You know, I mean, I you know, 3 years ago launched a crazy business that's, you know, it's barely hanging on. Decided to start a record company. It's barely hanging on. And went through a lot of staff, you know, wasn't successful. And, you know, getting through the weeds, getting out of it, but, you know, things like that. I mean, you're starting a business, having an idea, because your ideas may not always be the best idea, you know, for you financially, because in the end result, I mean, it's a huge, huge risk if you want to take it there. But I mean, as far as what you're saying about film, you know, we could have like Matthew, Aaron, but I think, you know, in the midst of that, you know, authors, you know, people that have written books about creativity, having them on as guests, taking calls, you know, having Aaron, you know, having Aaron on, having Matthew on, and talking about these things. And, you know, maybe certain weeks we talk about film, and, you know, but if someone calls in about music, cool. If someone calls in about radio, cool. Hey, how do you get in radio, Eric? How did you do it? You know, how have you made a career out of it? And we tell them. But I mean, if, you know, and then we'll just break it down, you know, piece by piece, and basically try to help them out. If they're on a different planet, we're going to tell them, like, hey, dude, you're an idiot. And here's why you're an idiot. Because you're sitting here complaining and whining, and you have no focus. You have no direction. Let us help you get direction. If you don't want to take our direction, then hang up the phone right now, because we're going to be brutally honest with you where you need to go. And I think we will enjoy that. Right, Eric?
I think it sounds like a great concept. Let's run with it.
So, I mean, in the midst, you know, we'll shoot the breeze. Obviously, we always shoot the breeze on this show, and we'll check in with each other, and, you know, we'll play by ear. But I think the foundation of the show is, you know, still a midlife crisis, because that's what we're going through in our lives, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
But we have
whatever you want to do, man. You're Batman. I'm Robin. You know.
But you know, that's the premise of the show, and that's the direction where the Jeff Adams Show is going.
Whatever I can do to help, I will be there to help.
So, I mean, basically, that's in a nutshell. You know, no calls. I mean, there's
nobody in the chat room. I mean, we're at ground zero right now.
Yeah, everybody left. I mean, this is a weird time, but, you know, basically, too, it's like we had to do this thing a little bit early, but I was, you know, texting with you, getting on a set schedule. Maybe we do this at 1 o'clock every Thursday, so I can put it up on these different sites that we're going to be live, and just kind of get in a groove where we're consistent with the time and all that good stuff. And I think we'll kick butt at this.
Let's go. Let's rock.
So Before we
So what do we do now?
yeah. So before, I think this was a good start. I mean, the foundation of where this is going and how to do it. But I think basically, the MetaFast thing, I want to know more about. It's what, dude, $225 a month?
I don't know what it is monthly. There, it was a little more to get started, and then I think it was $275 to get started for the whole first month. And I think the food might go beyond the first month. I got a giant box of
bonbons
of food.
Just doesn't look like food to me. It looks like some kind of butt wipe or something.
Look at how thin that. Yeah,
looks like
that's right.
Looks like a butt wipe.
That's a meal right there. So, but stay tuned. I'll just look better and better. I have a speaking thing coming up. El Lector Speakers and Cigar Series.
Yeah.
And that's coming up in Miami. You can go to themerrymonk.com, and there will be details there. Hook up on the Twitter, the Facebook, whatever. And if you're in the Miami area, you can come down for that. And so I'm thinking, by the end of the month, I'm going to have some more weight off, be looking good, get up in front of people and do my thing.
So before we go, the book. I mean, you finally got the book done.
Yeah, I turned in the book to the editor. This is the third, fourth round of edit. We did the line edit this time, and it was really drilling down and got to him, waiting to hear back. I've got one agent who's read half of it and is really excited about it. There's other agents in the wings. We'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, now that the book is off my desk, I've got time to blog, so I'm back at that and trying to build up audience so that when the time comes to pimp the book,
you'd be able to pimp it. Hey,
I got people to pimp to.
I know this is a stretch. I know it is, Eric. And I know who's going to do the forward for your book. I mean, obviously you've been with Steve.
No, you don't know.
Steve Brown.
Might be bigger than that.
Really?
Might be bigger than Brown.
But you're going to have Steve Brown do...
I've got a lot of contacts. Through the show, through the talk show, think about all the people that we've talked to.
Oh, yeah.
And all the phone numbers we got. And the people that love Steve, and Steve can go, hey, got this guy. Really, you got to read the book. If you love it, think about writing the foreword. Please just do me this favor, this one thing. And all people will do that. So
that's huge. But I was just saying.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like I said, none of my doing. I just, walking around on water, stumbled into this situation. But I've worked very, very hard on the book, and I'm really excited about how it's turning out. So I think it'll be worth a forward from somebody notable, and I think it'll be worth some good endorsements. I've already got people on board for that, and I'm ready to sell this thing, or to a publisher. I don't know about that, maybe, or do it through Key Life Network. We'll see. But themerrymonk.com, please go there, and the latest is on the site.
Themerrymonk.com. But here, before I go, you entertain me here. Being a dyslexic and overcoming dyslexia, I've always wanted to be, hey, that'd be cool to write a book, and that's so cool that you were able to do that and accomplish that in your life. But you got to help me out, man. If you have like anything on the back of the book, like a recommendation, you got to throw me in there, man. That way I can always say, hey, I was involved with the book.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I've got like a whole page at this point of people that I've handed off the book at, various stages. They've gotten a hold of this thing, and a lot of people are just going, this sucks, man. You got to change this and this and this. And some people were very encouraging. Some people gave you that hard advice, like you're talking about doing on the program here, and all very helpful. And so I think what it takes to get in there, man, is I got to send you a copy of the book. You gotta
do it.
You gotta let me know what you think, and then your name will be in there with the rest of the people that I've been annoying all these years.
I'll read it. I'll read it. I like to read, and well, congratulations on that, getting that done. And it just seems like you're kicking butt left and right. Telly Awards, books. Next thing you know, I'll be doing a book tour. And hey, if you also too, through the connections I know a lot of great PR people that if you're gonna hire PR. Outside of the publishing deal, I know a lot of people that can get you around and get you cranking, man.
Cool.
So
I'm excited.
So thanks again for hanging out. The Jeff Adams Show is a little bit of ranting and raving of what the show is going to be, and but I feel good, man. I feel focused. I feel not discouraged, and work through this technology glitches. But I think we're gonna kick butt doing this, and we're gonna have some fun doing it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for being critical and interrupting all the time.
No, that's what makes the show entertaining.
I feel bad.
If I was just sitting here by myself talking to a wall, it's good to have someone, speak in that with your type of background that can help the show become better. And,
right. I'll do what I can. And it really is a we thing. It's we, man.
It's a we. So
it's a we thing.
Until next week, adios, and we'll see you soon.
Me.